groups to stay in the region. The U.S. Embassy in Lebanon's capital of Beirut telling Americans there to prepare.
And good morning. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I say that not just to our viewers every day, but to, I think that's Dave Wolf over there. I'm not sure. Can you turn off the TV below you there? It's on the bottom right-hand side. There you go. Thank you very much. Dave Wolf's here. Hey, Dave.
Is this where I'm supposed to be?
You've seen this place a couple of times.
Let's see. It's been 33 years.
Oh, wait a sec. Let me turn on your microphone. Okay, go.
It's been 33 years since I started here, so.
33 years. You celebrated the 33rd anniversary, what, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago?
On the 12th.
Okay. So 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Brett. 33 years at WSJM.
Well, it started at 16, probably.
I started the week before my 16th birthday.
Let's see.
You started the week before your 16th birthday.
The week of. I mean, I started out at it was ironic. This year, the Berrien County Youth Fair started on the 12th. The year that I started, the Berrien County Youth Fair started on the 12th. And I turned 16 on that Saturday.
Oh,
so
we're going to talk about that. That'll be good. Well, Brett, can you look what were child labor laws 33 years ago?
I had to get 2 work permits that week, just for that week alone.
He's still a child.
He is. He is at heart.
Oh, yeah. Lovely to see you guys, too. Yeah.
At heart. At heart.
Oh,
no, Dave Wolf is our...
It.
Yeah, you guys go way back. He's Dave Wolf is our sports director, as everyone knows. He's the lovely voice that you hear for our sports reports. And today you're going to talk a little bit about the high school football previews.
Yes, the high school football previews. The season starts on Thursday for most teams around Southwest Michigan and the state as well.
You steal that shirt?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right.
Talk about sign stealing. He's got a Michigan football shirt on.
Okay, we've got to do some news here. So, Dave, hold that thought. Brett, hold your criticism. We'll be right back.
I'll be biting his ankles in the meantime.
We'll be right back.
Do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM, we're checking the newsroom to see what's happening in the latest local news around here. First, it's 72 degrees and cloudy today. We are under an excessive heat watch for Southwest Michigan. The forecast, why? Because the forecast today is hot and humid, a 20% chance of showers. They're going to say a high inland of 94 degrees. It could be probably higher, upper 80s for inland, or not inland, but for by the lakeshore. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Won't cool us off much. Tonight, the forecast calls for mostly clear skies, warm and humid. Southwest winds 5 to 10. And then tomorrow, partly sunny skies, hot and humid, a 30% chance of rain and storms. The high tomorrow is supposed to be around 96 degrees. It's going to be ugly. Brett loves it. He likes the gooey.
This is probably the last big push of heat, I think.
I think you're right, and it showed because everyone had their fancy car out this weekend. We even saw what we're calling the Munsters car was driving around. You saw it as well. I saw it Saturday afternoon. You saw it Saturday night?
I thought it was Saturday night going down Lake Boulevard. I thought it was.
We're talking about it looks like it belongs in a tractor pull, but it has too much chrome on it to enter one of those things. But it's got kind of maroonish red metal on it, a lot of chrome, big tires. It looks like a tractor pull vehicle.
Yeah, but it does look like the Munsters.
Yeah, but it does look like the Munsters vehicle as well. But anyway, so that was just one of the many cars. I saw a Chevy Malibu, an SS. Whoo, that thing looked nice. Anyway, all right, other news that we're following today from the WSJM newsroom. Income tax revenue in the city of Benton Harbor is down this year significantly, thanks largely to some layoffs at Whirlpool Corporation. Speaking to the City Personnel and Finance Committee, City Human Resources Coordinator Lisa Galladay said the local income tax has been in place since 2018.
To date, we have processed 412 residents' tax returns and 1,478 non-resident tax returns. The tax returns are due each year, April the 30th, and it goes for anyone that live and or work within the city limits of Benton Harbor. If you live in the city limits of Benton Harbor, it's 1%. If you do not, it's 0.5%.
Galladay said comparing this year to last year so far, income tax revenues down 962%. Is that a typo?
That's not possible. Nothing could be less than 100% negative. I mean,
Well, if you go down, yeah, it seems like it would be a deficit, right?
You can't be down more than 100%.
Yeah, so that must be a typo. That must be a typo. She also noted that not all returns are yet processed, telling commissioners that many people, especially contractors who do work in the city, don't even know about the city income tax. Revenue from the tax is intended for infrastructure work around the city, with most of it going to street projects and alleys. The Berrien County Board of Commissioners has received the latest county medical examiner's report detailing deaths reported in the county in 2023. The report showed Berrien County's death rate for the year settling back down to pre-COVID levels, but it also shows an increase in suicides. There was a total of 29 suicides in 2023 compared to only 21 in 2022. 20 out of those 29 were men, 12 of them for men in between the ages of 26 and 44. Dr. Patrick Hansma with the Western Michigan University told commissioners the reason for the increase in suicides not yet known, but it's something to watch. He added safe sleep education for parents of newborns continues to be a priority. Why? Because the report showed that there were an increase in infant deaths. There were 9 infant deaths in the county compared to just 1 in 2022. We have a link for the full medical examiner's report at our website, WSJM.com. And as we've talked about a little bit, if you're looking for some relief from some of the traffic work that's happening on M139, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. M139 will continue to be closed to through traffic between Scottdale Road and John Beers because of the culvert replacement project. They say weather and poor soil condition has delayed it. Work to replace the large culvert box under M139 has taken a lot longer than planned. MDOT spokesperson Nick Sharippa said due to Mother Nature not cooperating, things have slid a little bit on the schedule.
Between the heavy rain and the poor soil, it extended it out, and we're looking at an open to traffic date now of October 25.
So October 25 for the open to traffic, but the overall project probably sometime around a month later in November. Traffic will continue along the detour, John Beers Road and Scottdale Road, as well as US 31, Napier Avenue, and I-94. Sharippa noted that the entire project, again, probably complete mid to late November.
That'll be a while.
How does it feel when you're in charge of a road commission or a road project to have that delayed by so long?
Not good.
Yeah.
That's why I think you need to under promise and over deliver.
Yeah, because last year they over promised. No, what did they do? They under promised and over delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And this year they're over promising and under delivering. So
and that'll be the one thing people bring up in 10 years will be the one project.
Yeah, that's all that people remember.
Yeah.
All right. This and let's do one more story. A Michigan lawmaker is stepping up his efforts to try to stop the state's minimum wage increase from taking effect for tipped workers, saying it will destroy the restaurant industry and cause thousands of people to lose their jobs. State Senator Thomas Albert has introduced legislation that would keep Michigan's current laws related to the tipped wage, minimum wage, and paid sick leave, keep them as they are.
Simply put, everybody loses. The workers lose because they're going to earn less in income because their tips are going to go down. It's pretty fair to say almost across the board, wait staff earns well above minimum wage through tips. The customers are going to lose because the prices go up, and employers are going to lose too because the cost of doing business is going to skyrocket.
Albert says lawmakers in Lansing need to act soon because time is running short to avoid a financial catastrophe for Michigan's restaurant industry. That's a look at some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom. We have more sports than you could ever ask for coming up from Dave Wolf in just a moment. Dave Wolf is live and in the studio. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Ken.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
What is this? Is this Ken and Friend? That's it, right?
That's about it.
This is my one. Well, this is Ken and Friends, and so far just one shows up every single time.
So Ken and Friend. Okay.
But now that I have you here, I have friends.
Okay.
So this is positive. All right, you've got your sports report here. Then we're going to come back and talk all about the high school football preview that's going to be available online. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about other sports. We'll talk about your history here at WSJM. Because you've been here for 3 decades,
and then some.
So we'll talk about that and more coming up right here on WSJM.
Sunday in Major League Baseball, Andy Ibanez homered and had 3 RBIs as the Detroit Tigers sent the White Sox.
Sports.
Go ahead. What?
It's not showing up in the sports section. I had to put it under the local news.
Oh, on the website?
Yeah.
You couldn't just check the box for the sports
I
thing?
did.
Oh, and it didn't show.
It's not showing because there's no column for sports stories. I mean, it's not showing up on the sports page.
Okay. Let's bring that up with Elisa. Would you email her?
Mm-hmm.
This is the behind the scenes content that you get on the video live stream. Hi.
When does your new website go up?
I don't know. I didn't know we were doing a new website.
I thought someone told me you were.
No.
Okay.
No, nothing that we've announced. I mean, we always do little tweaks to it.
Sure. And the SJM
and we
Sports
did unveil and release a new Moody on the Market website, but as far as a WSJM website, we don't have a date on that.
Because I want a good decent photo that's life size here, and for me a life size photo is not that big, so gonna make sure we get that in there.
Dave Wolf is our resident Don Rickles.
I like that one.
Is that good?
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Well,
one.
at least I'm not a Buddy Hackett.
There you go. See,
We don't have the bleep working here, do we?
Oh boy.
Or the delay on.
Don Rickles.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that one's a good one.
This is going to be good. Oh no, let's see. Isolated severe thunderstorms in your area within the next 24 hours. So do be aware of that. We're going to get back and talk more sports here, but 33 years. When you told me that a couple of weeks ago, it's like 33 years.
Mhm.
So you started here when you were.
I was the week before my 16th birthday. In fact, 5 days before.
What'd
I
you
was
do?
Here, wait, we need to get Dave on the camera here. Let's see.
Really?
you really got to zoom in.
Where are you? Oh, there you are.
No.
I mean, you got to point the camera down.
Stand up.
I am standing up.
I know you are.
Okay. And you, how long?
This is our
This is
rapport here.
normal.
This is how we talk to each
That's
other.
okay.
How
We
long
gotta-
have you guys known each other?
Pretty much the 33 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That day was. What year did you graduate? St. Joe, 90?
93.
Oh, so he's quite a bit younger, but that's okay.
Did-
He
But
knew-
I
he
remember
knew
when
of me.
I remember when
Okay.
Brett played.
Yeah, he knew of me.
Okay. All right. Good. Don't stop. Keep going.
Where was he? It was the week before my 15th birthday. The first thing I did was handing out WSJM stickers and pencils at the Berrien County Youth Fair.
You were 14 when
I was
you,
15.
you said a week before your
week before my 16th birthday.
Oh, a week
16th.
before your 16th birthday.
Yep.
Okay. So you're 15.
And I got the sunburn like crazy by the end of that week. I was
man.
redder than the red in that WSJM sign. I mean, so I had my aunt and my grandparents drive me every day to the fair until Saturday, which I could legally drive myself. So
Wow.
when I got done with the youth fair on Friday, went to the DMV, Secretary of State's office, got my license on that Friday,
Yeah.
then drove myself on the Saturday. So it worked out perfectly for that. And the thing is, the following Monday, I wanted the car because it was still summer. I took my mom to work in her car, and the car broke down on the way home. So,
Oh, man. All right. Hold that thought.
okay.
Hold that thought. We got to get back on the air here in just a moment.
Will be in the upper 80s at the beaches today with just a slight chance of a shower. Partly cloudy to clear skies tonight. We stay in the low to mid 70s, and then hot and humid on Tuesday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures in the low to middle 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. It's 7:14, 72 degrees and muggy outside in Southwest Michigan. And we've got that excessive heat watch that Carrie Peugeot was telling us about. And in studio this morning, we do have a special guest who's always here pretty much every morning in the Sports Report, Dave Wolf, our sports director. But you've come in to talk about the high school football preview. But before we get to that, we want to know about you and your history here with WSJM. And before we get to that, because Brett thinks I don't like sports, I want to do a quick review of the book War and Peace.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. No,
Where
I'm
you gonna go?
Yeah.
just kidding. Oh, we do have to do a Starliner. Remind me, we have to do a Starliner update because NASA Administrator Bill Nelson
Did he?
over the weekend
I did-
finally confirming Yeah, it's going to be February.
Actually, I did see that.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you're going to bring it up.
We'll talk about that. It'll be fun. But Dave Wolf, welcome to the studio. Thanks. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit first before we get into the high school football, high school football preview, right? Is that what you call it?
Yes.
High school football preview. Before we get to that and how you do it and what teams you look at and what it says as an overview, give people just a little bit of a background, how long you've been here at WSJM, covering sports and doing other things.
Well, I've been here on staff for 33 years and 2 weeks. But before that, I was a Boy Scout explorer at an explorer's post here.
What the?
What?
Yes.
There was a Boy Scout explorer's post here?
There was an explorer's post here.
Okay. Was that before the building was built?
No, it was after the building was built.
All right.
That was 91.
All right.
I think the building was less than 3 years old at that time.
Okay. I think you're right. Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that it's aged a little bit. But
a little better than you, though.
Oh, you can see the rivalry already
No,
between
it's not rivalry.
Dave and Brett.
We have fun. We can mock each other.
Okay.
Yeah, but you get more opportunities to do so.
So you've been here since the early 90s.
Yes.
And you started your career with WSJM. What was your first job?
First job was handing out WSJM stickers and pencils at the Berrien County Youth Fair. And then the next week was peeling off the skin after I got the sunburn. So.
Ouch. Okay. And now you are sports director and you deliver the sports reports.
I think it's a lateral move, just
not only do you give sports on WSJM, but you provide sports for most of the other stations if they want it. And then also you deliver the news for Cozy up in South Haven.
Yep.
Been part of that team as well. So you're here today to talk about the high school football sports previews. You've been working on these for how long this season?
I would say about 2 months, but the tough part has been in the last month.
So the majority of the work is within the last month, but you sent out the surveys 2 months in advance. So you start working on the questions, you send out the surveys, you make sure you're getting all the right context and all that. How easy is it to get responses from coaches?
Some coaches, it's easy. Some coaches, it's like pulling teeth.
You got them all? Do you have them all?
I don't
have
them
them. How many
all.
do you send out? How many surveys? Just give me a number.
I would say close to 40 or 50, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But every school in Berrien, Van Buren, and Cass County, and a couple other schools in St. Joseph County, because they're in conferences that matter to that people play here. A couple schools in Kalamazoo County, like the two Portages, and I sent some to the schools in Battle Creek that like St. Joe and Lakeshore play, and they did not respond, which I'm not really surprised. But
they still have time do they still have time to respond?
They still have time.
Or you have a deadline, you're just going to cut them off?
Well, if they want to respond by the day that their conference preview is published, that's perfectly fine with me, man. I will even delay it just to type theirs up. But today I released the 8-man football preview. Tomorrow I'll do the Southwest 10 conference. And then on Wednesday, it'll be the SAC. And then Thursday it'll be the Lakeland and the Wolverine conference. So there's 2 in one day.
Wow.
Because Lakeland is only 5 schools.
That's a lot of sports reading.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Friday is the Southwest Michigan Athletic Conference, the SMAC. That's including St. Joe and Lakeshore, which play on Friday. So it's kind of worked itself out that way.
Right in time.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, all right. Brett, you want to lead this interview since it's sports ball?
Sports ball?
You want me to continue?
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
You want me to continue?
And he
says, does he call hockey sports puck?
I don't think he knows what hockey is.
It's sports ball. They play with the ball, right? It just rolls around. They have plastic hooks or whatever.
What of the teams? Which ones are expecting to have good seasons? Realistic good seasons.
Well,
who are the tough ones?
You look at the Wolverine Conference, you automatically think of Niles, what they did last year.
Yeah.
School record in wins. Edwardsburg had a bit of a down year last year, but that's first year of a head coach. Is Edwardsburg coming back? They're always a strong opponent and have been for the last 20, 30 years. So they're expected to come back after the rise of Niles this year and last year, And then you look at locally St. Joe and Lakeshore, they're always expected to be competing for the Southwest Michigan Athletic Conference. And the SMAC this year is back to being a West Division and an East Division. So really, when you talk about the SMAC West with St. Joe, Lakeshore, Portage Northern, Portage Central, that's 4 teams right there that are just going to be, bumping heads every single week in the conference.
That's great. Some good games in store.
Who are they thinking is a strong team in the West?
the consensus seems to be Portage Central.
That's what I've kind of heard too.
Yeah. Even 8-man football, Martin is still good. Bridgman is still good. In fact, they're very good. A lot of people are expecting good things from the Twin City Sharks. That's the combined team of Our Lady of the Lake, Michigan Lutheran, Countryside Academy, and Waterloo Grace Christian. So,
but a lot of those teams are too big and they can't get in the playoffs. Too many kids in enrollment.
Yep. The limit from the MHC
What, do they have to go somewhere else?
So if you're an 8-man, I think it's 215.
250.
250?
That's what your school enrollment can be?
Yeah.
To be in the playoffs. If you go above that, you can't be in the playoffs.
Ah, okay.
And I think Bridgman's like 260 or so. I mean, they're right on a
Mhm.
bubble.
Wow.
And then with the Twin City Sharks, I mean, Our Lady of the Lake is a school of like 60 some odd kids. Michigan Lutheran is 90. But you combine Countryside, you combine all that together, then they go above the 250. So they're also ineligible for the playoffs.
So where do they play?
Well, you can
They
play the
just play
regular
the regular
season,
season.
but
They just can't get into the playoffs.
they just can't get in the playoffs. So week 9 comes.
They can't go above that
they can't-
somewhere else and play?
No.
No.
Oh, that's no fun.
Actually, Bridgman tried that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They tried a unofficial championship game against Grand Rapids and North Point Christian.
Yeah.
The MHC caught wind of it and shut it down. So
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer.
Well, and there's been a push to try to expand the enrollment, but I think the Football Coaches Association pushed and said, no, this is
Okay.
because I think the ultimate goal is to try to get as many bigger schools back to 11-man football. Some I think could over time, some probably because of the community and soccer and different things that probably never will get there.
Yeah.
It's like, we just talked about Bridgman. Bridgman is a school that's got soccer, swimming. They've got all kinds of cross-country, fall sports. It's hard to field a football team of even, say, 20 kids.
Right.
Sometimes when you have, because you need 11 for soccer, you need this for cross-country, you need so-and-so for swimming and stuff like that. In kids, you don't want to spread them too thin. You don't want to have them, playing 3 different sports in a season. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 8-man football has been saved at Bridgman. 8-man football has saved the Bridgman football program, but it kind of a double-edged sword. It cost them a chance to compete for playoffs. And they've been undefeated, I would say, the last 3 years.
Yeah, they got a 33-game regular season winning streak, which is the second longest in the area. And schools when they have to make these decisions, they're faced with a couple options. One is, I think most schools, if they could, they would play 11-man football.
Mm-hmm.
But the other option then is you go to 8-man or no football.
Right. And
some school, what are you going to do? Not offer anything?
Right.
And no different than in Twin City Sharks. That's a makeup of 4 schools. Well, if you were to ask all 4 schools, they probably would like to have their own team.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the option of your own team. And if you can't, then your options are no team or a combo team.
In the high school, thank you for that explanation. In the high school football preview, Dave, any surprises?
I don't say surprises, but I want to say basically, like I said, I don't want to say surprises because it's not.
Dave's a surprise.
I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet.
But so everything as expected, but no walk-on phenoms coming in from other districts or anything.
No.
Well, no, it used to happen more often than it does now. But the thing I noticed was the lack of turnover of coaches. This is probably one of the most stable seasons that I've seen of returning coaches. Only 2 schools that have new coaches, that is Bangor and Benton Harbor.
Yeah, in our our area, but I know there's a new coach in Matawan. There's a new coach in Gull Lake, in the SMAC. The Wolverine Conference has new coaches in Plainwell and Otsego,
which are not
really not our
area.
area.
So when you
it's our cozy area, huh?
On Brett's point, when you have that stable coaching, what does that mean on the field?
Well,
it means it's stability. You have kids that they learned the offense last year. They're getting used to it. Now with a repeat, the coach coming back,
they know what the coach
they know
wants.
what they're doing. They know the offense. They're better acquainted with the offense. They know the expectations of the coaches. They know what they expect from them. And they know the plays inside and out. They know the style of offense. They know the coach's tendencies. With a new coach, it takes a while to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and give an example. Like at Bangor, I was the 4th coach in 5 years for the girls. And the first thing I said, this is harder on you than me.
Right.
Because you've had, I was 3rd coach in 3 years. You're going to be told probably 3 different ways to do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And so, when you're dealing with young kids, most young kids want the coach to like them.
Right.
And so you have to go through that process of them getting to know you, your tendencies, your habits, and then the parents on the same, do we trust this coach?
Mhm.
Are
It's
they
like-
really here to promote the young people?
Is he going to be here next year?
Right.
Just-
All those type of things. And so the programs, whether it's high school or college, that have been historically good, don't have much turnover.
Yeah.
And that includes assistant coaches too. You look at when Bo Schembechler was at Michigan and Joe Paterno at Penn State and Ike Mullenkamp and Denny Dock at St. Joe and Lakeshore, they had pretty much the same coaching staff.
Mm.
And so, especially in football, you have what's called position coaches. And that's who you really get close to as a player is who's your position coach. The head coach is a head coach who may handle some positions, but you're usually not traditionally as close to that coach personally. And so having that same type of person year after year helps the familiarity, helps the understanding. As Dave said, it helps the explanation of the X's and O's. Football is a tough game. To
Mhm.
me, it's the hardest sport from a mental, physical. You can lose by 8-0 in soccer. You still get on the bus and feel physically okay. You can lose by 50 in basketball, same thing. You lose by 40 or 50 in football, you might be a little sore getting on that bus. It's just a different game.
Okay. What are the basic components of the previews, Dave?
I didn't talk to, but I emailed all the coaches. I got the schedule on there, their record last year, how many years the coaches have been there. The coach points out some of his significant players on offense, defense, and special teams, the kind of offense that he plans on running, the kind of defense that they plan on using, and even the offensive and defensive coordinators who is going to be coaching those. And you'll find a lot of coaches, head coaches, also serving mostly as offensive coordinators. You'll find a few that are also doing the defensive coordinator. You'll see a couple of 8-man teams that the head coach is doing the offense and the defense because, again, you're dealing with an 8-man program.
And drives the bus.
And and washes the jersey afterwards.
Oh, my goodness.
But
You lost your train of thought there. We were
Yes.
talking
Well,
about the
to me,
basic components of the report and what
Yeah,
intelligence we should.
the schedule, the coach's outlook for the upcoming season, what he thinks will happen with his team if, knock on wood, they stay healthy,
Mhm.
and who he sees as the favorite in the conference, if not them. I mean, sometimes a coach will blatantly say, we expect to be the top, and then you find a lot of them like, well, I think, these guys are really the best. Take nothing away from us. I'd like to win the title for the conference, but, you just got to look at Team A and Team B over here.
Yeah. Brett.
Well, and I think, what's interesting that goes to what we have on a coach's show too is the difference in the size of the schools and how the programs are run. So like a St. Joe and Lakeshore is almost run like a small college program
Mhm.
with fundraising, with the organization, with the boosters, with the fans, with the concessions, with how the coach handles and the number of
Sure.
staff. And then you go to a 8-man school where you have maybe 3 coaches and they literally do wash the jerseys. They do everything.
Yeah.
It's just, and we have that all within 3 to 5 miles of us here in Twin City area or Southwest Michigan. And, you and I touched on it last week. The one thing I love about our 3-county area is our schools are one school towns.
Mhm.
And I think that makes a big difference on Friday nights, because of the crowds. You go to bigger cities, they have 2-3 different high schools.
Yeah.
So they don't just follow one, where you go to St. Joe, you live in Royalton or St. Joe Township City, it's one district. Same with Lakeshore and Eau Claire, different things.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the high school football previews, they're starting to be posted today. Give us the schedule again of what people can read and when. And all the coaches, they probably go through these as well to see the intelligence on the other teams, right?
And seeing if I'm lying about them.
And they do listen to coaches' show.
I'm sure
heard
they
that.
do.
I've heard that from out of town coaches.
It makes sense. They
Yeah.
better.
The 8-man football preview was published today. Tomorrow it will be the Southwest 10 conference. That includes like Hartford, Cassopolis, and
Others.
and others.
Yep.
But those are just some of them I can name offhand. We'll do the SAC conference on Wednesday. That's Coloma, Watervliet, and the rest of that league. And then on Thursday, I'll do 2 of them with the Wolverine conference: Niles, Edwardsburg, Paw Paw.
Okay.
And then also that day, the Lakeland Conference: Benton Harbor, Buchanan, Brandywine, Dowagiac, and Berrien Springs. And then Friday will be the big one, the largest teams in the area, the Southwest Michigan Athletic Conference, the SMAC. St. Joe, Lakeshore, Manawan, and the Portage and Kalamazoo schools. So
awesome. All right. And all that's going to be posted at WSJM.com.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Dave Wolf, sports director for WSJM. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anything else you want to mention before we turn off your microphone?
No, not
Anything
really.
about Brett? You want to say something nice about Brett?
Nice about Brett?
That won't be possible
Nice.
from Dave.
But yeah, about Friday night after the St. Joe Niles game on WSJM, Brett and I will be appearing on YouTube, and we'll recap the game from the press box at Dickinson Stadium. So
We doing a preview too?
no, we're not doing the preview.
And I know you guys have fun with each other, but they both
Oh, yeah, we
worked
get along.
on these previews. So thank you to Brett and thank you, Dave, for coordinating this and putting them all together and doing all the hard work on that.
Not a problem.
All right. It's WSJM. We've got to catch up on news. We'll be right back.
Loan rates are trending downward. Are you ready to make your move?
What'd you forget about?
The YouTube part.
Oh, you had to do it on YouTube. If it wasn't on YouTube, it didn't happen.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach's show. Hint, hint.
Yeah, that's up to you guys.
It's not up to us. We give you the technology. All you need is take your computer and turn on. You can just do it on your phone. You can do your phone thing.
Brett using his phone for anything other than
Come
scores.
on, guys.
Yeah, I know. He already had Instagram blasting Frank Sinatra earlier today.
That was a good song, though.
What was the video? Can you talk about it on the
Don't
air?
remember what it was.
Yeah, it's probably censored or something like that.
No.
All right.
I mean, Brett does high school football by looking at his phone. That's how he does it.
It's an old phone. I get razzled. Look how nice the screen is, Dave.
Is it cracked?
No, look how
Oh.
nice it is. $10
Oh, well, there you go.
from a suspect.
Is that just a
that was-
picture? Is that just a picture that's pasted on the top of it?
From a somewhat a suspect store that I bought this from in outside Detroit.
Was it a van?
It was moving.
What, a brand new screen?
Yeah, it was moving. The van was moving.
Oh, geez.
It was a hot sale.
Man, oh
But
man.
look how nice this is. Yeah, my staff's like, you still got a button on your phone. Well, so does that mean like that?
Oh, you still have a button on your phone?
Yeah,
Let me
see,
see.
now you're like the
Let me
rest
see.
of my office.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, it doesn't matter your phone. You got a button on it.
You have to hit that twice to get the little things so you can disappear them, right? My
yeah.
mom's smartphone, when she was still using it, she must have had like 57 windows open at once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Brett tried the
close
facial
them after a
recognition
while.
screen, and it said, "No, I don't want to look at anyone." He said, "I don't want to look at that thing anymore."
Well, that's why my screen cracked.
You guys
Go
are
back
great.
to your cave.
And then also Dave Wolf,
Okay.
in addition to the sports director stuff that you do here, full disclosure, you do work for St. Joe.
Yes, I do work for St. Joe. In fact, this season I started my 38th season work for St. Joe schools.
No kidding.
I started during my 7th grade year as a student at Upton. I was running the scoreboard at basketball games and keeping the scorebook, and so I've been doing stuff for
You
the
didn't play?
It's hard, man.
You saw
It's
me.
hard.
You saw me play No Stars basketball
Yeah.
when we had it way back then, and
We had a remember one game we had a
Yeah.
starting lineup, and Dave was the average height of the starters. Remember that? Johnny LeMaster.
oh god, yeah.
Remember it was we put out the shortest.
You were rough, man.
No, we just did. It was funny. It was
He had me at the starting center.
yeah, he had a jump center.
I had to do a jump ball, and the referee faked throwing the ball up. The other person across me, I think it was a girl. She jumped up. It's like, well, why are you doing that? He didn't even hand her the ball. He handed the ball to me. Like, wow, I got the ball. She grabbed it on my hand, went back the other way for a layup.
All
Yeah,
right.
so we had no stars. That was
I
fun.
got to
We
get
played
back.
donkey basketball one year.
I got to get back into the news here. So
Did you? play
thank
that?
you.
Nope.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Its new watches and iPads. The new phones are expected to be available on September 20th. Deadpool and Wolverine continues to dominate the box office. ComScore says the superhero flick was the #1 movie over the weekend, taking in $18 million to take the top spot in 4 of the 5 weeks it's been in theaters. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Man, got heated in here. You guys are fun.
Well, the air conditioning is cold. Yeah, so we had a sports show or
Yeah.
sports meeting last Sunday.
Yeah.
At Amy's studio in downtown Stephenville. She's only been there since 06.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, "Where's it at?" I'm like, "Do you not leave St. Joe?"
72 degrees and cloudy in Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. 70 in Dowagiac right now. South Haven is recording 72 degrees as we speak. In New Buffalo, it's 73. Cloudy all over the place. Excessive heat watch. So the forecast for today does call for hot and humid conditions. It's going to be, what is it? Gooey?
Gooey.
It's going to be gooey. 20% chance of showers. Seeing some of those north of us right now, along with some thunder and lightning and all that. So do be aware of that. High today is predicted to be 94 degrees. That's mostly inland. Could be a little cooler by the lake. Not a whole lot cooler, but we'll check.
I can see what my phone says.
I know your phone. You got to update that thing. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast mostly clear, warm and humid. Southwest winds 5 to 10. And tomorrow, Tuesday, partly sunny, hot and humid. It's going to be the hotter of the 2 days here. It's going to be around predicted high of 96 degrees. 96 degrees. And so we'll see if that comes to fruition, but it's going to be hot. So do be careful of that. If you've got stuff to do outdoors today, make sure you stay hydrated so that you don't have an issue with the heat exhaustion, heat stroke, all that other fun stuff. You just want to stay away from that. All right, we've got more news coming up. ABC News in just a moment here on WSJM. Then we'll get to our local news and a state summary from the Michigan News Network.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Extreme heat in parts of the country this week across the Midwest. Triple-digit heat indexes. The weather leading to a rise in mosquito-borne illnesses, including Eastern equine encephalitis, which can be serious. Outside activities have been canceled between dusk and dawn in some Massachusetts communities out of fear that it might spread. Watching and waiting in the Middle East as another conflict zone heats up.
Israel launching preemptive strikes involving 100 planes to take out thousands of rocket launchers and missiles in southern Lebanon after detecting plans for an attack on Israeli soil. Now, the IDF saying it struck over 40 sites in southern Lebanon.
That's ABC's Britt Clennett in Tel Aviv. Ukraine says the missile and drone attack launched by Russia today was the biggest barrage in months. Critical infrastructure was targeted, leading to widespread power outages throughout the country. This is ABC News.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. It's the start of a new school year in Michigan for thousands of kids. In southern lower Michigan, it's going to be hot with a high of 90 degrees.
All right, I made the executive decision to shorten our time span there because you went long. You and Dave went long.
Well, that's what you get paid for. It helps you not have to fill in so much.
No, that was a good conversation. And you and Dave Wolf have been... Sorry, my microphone is just having a day. Come on.
That's a personal problem.
I tell you.
I think he broke it.
No.
Why don't you just get the ones with the headphones? I like those better.
The headsets? I don't think those are as high a fidelity.
That's a building that used to be in Benton Harbor.
Fidelity?
Mm-hmm.
Fidelity?
Fidelity building.
Yeah. No, that was a good conversation. And you and Dave Wolf go way back, and you still work together.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least you show up at the same places to do the same
he's
thing.
Usually there. Home games, he's usually there before me, which takes a lot.
I'm sad we didn't get to talk about my review of War and Peace.
That was a brutal segment for you, wasn't it?
No. I really do enjoy it. And I thought you brought up some interesting points about the stability of the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems to me that does make a huge difference for the kids. So the kids have been in the programs. If they've been in the same school, they've been in that program for a long time. They know what to expect from their coach, except for when the coach changes. And then they want a different thing. They have different feelings about, or at least perceptions, different feelings about how the players are progressing, what they're doing on the field, where they need to improve, where they're doing great.
No, I
time
agree
on the
with that.
field.
Yep, I think familiarity. People have a comfort level with that, and it's not just sports. It could be here on radio or TV,
anywhere. What to expect from the boss.
Yep, I think people get used to that, and it helps them sleep better at night.
So, who are the strongest teams here locally?
Well, I mean,
who's the strongest team?
I haven't
still St. Joe.
Seen the preview. No, I mean, I think they got a lot of returning starters, which should help.
Who has 38 returning
St. Joe.
St. Joe.
Yeah.
38
returning
varsity
players. They have
That's
71 on
huge.
varsity.
All right, let's talk about the comments here. Oh, wait a sec. I got to do this. Let's see. Sorry, you're getting the behind the scenes me messing with the breaks here. Make sure we got everything in order. Bill says, good morning. Good morning, Bill. Good to see you. Good morning, Teresa. Good to see you. Teresa, I was cashing in your comment all weekend long about, was it you, Teresa, who said that I look too young to have 2 kids in college?
I think you've mentioned that a few times.
So I did spend a good portion of time this weekend with Stuart, who is now back at school. He's in his 3rd year. And this year, the first 2 years, he was in dorm. And this year, he and 3 of his friends are in an apartment.
Got to do their own cooking.
Yeah, well, they and we were talking about that as well. Is Stuart going to do the meal plan where he could swipe, for 3 squares a day, 7 days a week, and it's only 10 minutes walking distance from his apartment, which isn't bad.
Except in the winter.
Or, come on, I mean,
I'm just telling you the excuses.
Snow builds character.
I agree.
Snow builds character. It's wonderful. Or instead of the meal plan, he was trying to decide, should I just take that money that I would spend on the meal plan and do my own cooking? He hasn't cooked mac and cheese in his life. I'm pretty sure.
He'd be better off the meal plan.
Yeah, I think the meal plan. So I said meal plan. No. I asked him how much it was. He told me. I said, yeah, meal plan.
What did he say?
I think it's like a couple thousand.
Did he agree? Meal plan?
What is he
final decision.
gonna do? I don't know that he gave me a final decision, but I'll find out. He is a fan of this program. He watches it religiously.
Keep Dad happy.
He says he appreciates you. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. So anyway, so 2 boys at college. The other boy, Sawyer, he moved in on Thursday, and then Thursday night and Friday, not many of his friends around. Saturday was I think the final move-in day, and so now he's got all of his his familiar faces that he knew would be coming
Posse's back.
University of Michigan. He did visit Target over the weekend, Target, to get some stuff. So that's fun. But he's all moved in. Everything looks great. I think he's good. They were having field day already for the Ross Business School that he's in. So yeah, I'll be curious to understand how today went.
Good for him.
I think he went to a frat party. It was an induction, not an induction, but like hey, here's who we are.
Correct.
Think about joining us. Yeah. I don't know. Is it technically Rush yet? Is it Rush?
No idea.
Okay. Were you in a frat?
No.
Okay.
Went to their parties.
Oh, okay. I bet you did.
Yeah, they had some good parties. I enjoyed those. Those were fun.
But Sawyer's responsible, just as Stewart is, and just as Samuel will be when he gets on campus.
Okay, they're in college.
All right, that's what I'm just being. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, I was definitely responsible.
I was most of the time.
Okay, we're going to continue the WSJM morning show here. John says, top of the morning. Bill says, I thought Dave came with the building. Not too far behind, for sure. Let's see. Bill also says, hearing about games makes me glad I went to the motorsports way. I'm with you, Bill. Thank you. Thank you for being there. All right, it's 16 minutes before 8 o'clock. We've got more news to talk about with Brett before we let him go back to his day job. Let's get back to the show here in just a moment.
Biggest investment. So at Lakefront Roofing, we treat your home like it's our home.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm Blaine. We both look forward to meeting you.
Legitimate license, Lakefront Roofing and Exteriors. Contractors you can count on.
Partly sunny, hot, and humid today. We're going to see high temperatures getting up into the lower 90s inland. We'll be in the upper 80s at the beaches today with just a slight chance of a shower. Partly cloudy to clear skies tonight. We stay in the low to mid 70s, and then hot and humid on Tuesday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures in the low to middle 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
72 degrees outside, 745, Cape Canaveral, Florida. NASA has decided that it is too risky to bring 2 astronauts back to Earth in Boeing's troubled capsule, and they will have to wait until next year for a ride home. Will Boeing be giving them a ride home? No. Elon Musk's SpaceX will. It should have been a week-long test flight. It's now going to last 8 months. So that came out. They tried to bury the news. NASA
test flight to 8 months, huh?
Test flight.
Wow.
Yeah, just for a handful of days. They've been stuck at the International Space Station since the beginning of June. The problem, as we've talked about before, is thruster failures and helium leaks. That's a recipe for disaster.
Sounds like Apollo 13, doesn't it?
And NASA says, nope, we're not going to risk it. The Boeing Starliner will go back home by itself. It will not have a crew on board. I wonder if they'll just turn it into space junk. They should really take a close look at everything that happened to understand, because it sounds like it was just a total engineering failure of those thrusters and the area where the helium leaks are. So after almost 3 months, the decision finally came down from NASA's highest ranks on Saturday. They tried to bury it on Saturday. You know, when you have bad news to share, you bury it on Fridays. That's been the rule. 4 o'clock Friday afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because journalists, they want to have a life too. They're hitting their 3 or 4 martini lunch or whatever. And
Is that from experience?
I have no idea. I can neither confirm nor deny. The but you bury it on a Friday afternoon. This conference was on a Saturday of all things. On a Saturday, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, whom I've personally covered when he was in the U.S. Senate as a reporter, talked with him a lot. And it was just interesting. He says, a test flight by nature is neither safe nor routine, and the decision is a result of a commitment to safety. Yeah. I don't know. He said this, another NASA associate administrator said, this has not been an easy decision, but it's absolutely the right one. Nelson also said lessons learned from NASA's 2 space shuttle accidents played a role. This time he noted open dialogue was encouraged rather than crushed. Bill Nelson, if you remember, he was on one of the, do we have somebody at the door? Can you, never mind. I know who it is. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, he was a U.S. Senator from Florida, but he also, when he was a U.S. House of Representatives, he was either the chairman or the ranking member, I forget which, of the Science Committee, the one that had a lot of sway over the space program. And he was actually, coincidentally, maybe not coincidentally, selected to go up on a space shuttle voyage.
Really?
Yeah. And so from his time as a congressman, and when he was selected by NASA to take a field trip up on the space shuttle, he then called himself astronaut after that. And so now after serving in the House and the Senate, he's the administrator of NASA. And this is not a thing that an administrator wants to go out there with of, hey, we've got a couple astronauts that are stuck in space.
Yeah, and you hope nothing tragically happens.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem so, because the proven SpaceX will go up and get them, and they'll come back. It's going to launch in late September, but it's not supposed to come back until late February, and so that's when these 2 astronauts, Wilmore and Williams, will come back.
Musk definitely knows. He's a smart man. He's definitely figured things out from that standpoint. I mean, his rockets, it's incredible to watch them re-land.
It really is.
Isn't that? It just looks like something out of
science fiction.
Real.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, both SpaceX and Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's rocket company. Fascinating stuff. In fact, one of my sons, Stuart, he made me watch Jeff Bezos give a speech a few years ago talking about O'Neill colonies. You ever heard these things?
No,
O'Neill colonies, basically Bezos is of the mind that the Earth, in order to continue the path, or at least the goal of helping it sustain for millennia to come, we should think about creating O'Neill colonies, named for the person who came up with the theory of these huge, continent size, well, not continent size, but really, really big, like state size type of structures in space that people could live on, and they would have entire environments. don't know, they're probably the size of New York City or something like that, just floating, rotating out in space. And because they rotate, they have the gravity. But you'd have some that were focused for industrial, some that were focused for residential, some were focused for recreational, and then you would just transport back and forth to the Earth, which would then no longer have a lot of the heavy industry. It's a pie in the sky theory.
Yeah,
certainly be interesting, but a key element of that, as you mentioned, are the reusable rockets.
Wonder how they would play basketball then up there.
I mean, gravity would be normal.
Oh, it would be?
Yeah, it'd be normal because they rotate.
I don't understand that, but that's okay.
I trust. So we'll see. All right. We need to talk about mosquitoes because
I'm surprised they haven't been a bigger issue this summer anyways.
They haven't bothered us yet.
No.
But maybe they were waiting until some of the
school starts.
Yeah, maybe they were waiting until the school starts so they could get their desserts. The let's see, where is it? Because it was in Massachusetts. Here it is. Massachusetts officials announced the first confirmed human case of Eastern equine encephalitis in the state since 2020. It was in an 80-year-old Worcester County man. Contracted the mosquito-borne virus. The State Department of Public Health recently announced officials did not give specific details of how or where the man was exposed to the virus or his current condition. And they're so concerned about Eastern equine encephalitis because it has a 30% fatality rate. And you think about somebody who's 80 years old, you got some challenges there.
What percent?
30%.
Wow, that's
30.
high.
Yeah, that is high. That's 1 in 3. Approximately 1 out of every 5 people who contracted the virus in 2020 also died. So that was even higher rate. But they have, some towns have put in some curfews. So we should talk about that, or at least some voluntary curfews to avoid the spread of that and West Nile and other mosquito-borne diseases. We'll talk about that and other things. We've got the Moody on the Market update coming up as well. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
There is a place in Southwest Michigan where a fresh and innovative daily brunch.
Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, I think they moved all the football games to 5 p.m. around here
because of the mosquitoes?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Kalamazoo County was like crazy about it. They were the first ones.
What do you mean crazy? That they were very concerned about it?
Not that I think they're over concerned.
Well, that's your opinion.
Correct. That's my opinion.
Try to sway the news, Brett Witkowski.
No, I said
that. Let's see. For our Moody on the Market update, we're going to talk about the Tri-State Regatta.
It's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we'll talk about that. What else we have going on? Diane says, have a great day, everyone. Good morning, all. Good morning, Diane. Good to see you there. Teresa says, good morning, John. And others. Thanks for making the morning show part of your day. What else we have going on this morning? Later on this morning, we are going to check in with the Berrien Community Foundation. That's coming up around 8:12 this morning. See what's happening there. Brett, what do you have going on today? Anything fun? Anything good this week? Between now and Friday that we need to keep an eye on?
No. Just some meetings and hope our staff stays cooler out there today.
Oh, yeah. What do you do when it's excessively hot?
Well, just take more breaks, but they're still going at it. They're seal coating Blue Star Highway from Covert up to the Allegan County line.
Okay.
It's a lot of miles.
We were out in Coloma area this weekend as well and found one of those roads where they had put the gravel over it and the oil.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to that eventually? Does it eventually turn into road?
So it was a gravel road that they had seal coated?
I don't know. They put the stuff over it that looked like oil. What is that?
Did it have rocks in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's seal coat. So
Okay.
they do that a couple times and it turns into a pretty solid road.
Looks into solid roadway. Yeah, because I had driven the road previously and don't remember it being gravel like
Yeah.
that. And then I saw the seal coat stuff on it. It's like, oh, okay. That's what they're doing here.
And we got hired by Village of Mattawan to do that on one of their roads too.
Oh. Is it like you ever watch the movie Cool Hand Luke? Have I asked you that?
No.
You
but
haven't seen
I've
that.
heard of it, but
Paul
I've not
Newman.
watched it.
You have to watch
I like
that because
Paul
there's a road crew scene
Mhm.
in there. It's pretty good.
But it'll be hot out there for them today.
Yeah. Get some more water.
Yep.
Stay
And
hydrated.
obviously, if the sun's not out, that helps. If the sun's out and it's high
I think it's going to burn through today.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's going to burn
I
through
would
those
agree with
clouds.
You match that up with hot asphalt. My mother-in-law had texted me, Babe Ruth, he played a exhibition game. I remember that with
House of David.
Yeah.
Yep.
Put a beard on.
He sure did. He sure did. And you can see photos of that at the House of David Museum that's here in town with Siriano Real Estate. All right, be right back with Moody on the Market Update.
15 behind. Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, it happened again, Brett. They wrote over our music with a commercial. Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
I heard every word you
You're
said.
still here till 8 o'clock. You got 4 more minutes. Say something funny.
I got nothing to go.
All right. Well, let's do the Moody on the Market Update. Moody on the Market Update is brought to you this morning by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And one of the most anticipated rituals of summer in Michigan's Great Southwest is coming this weekend as the Tri-State Regatta passes through St. Joseph. Large sailboats will race from Chicago. Let's see, that happened on Friday night to St. Joseph, then to Michigan City Sunday, and back to Chicago on Monday, Labor Day, September 2nd. The stop here at the St. Joseph River Yacht Club has long been the best reason anybody could find for a gigantic end-of-summer party, featuring food, drink, music, and fun, all centered on the nautical theme of the regatta. It's the biggest event of the season at the Yacht Club. Have you ever been to one of these?
Not the yacht club, but I've definitely watched the boats go out Sunday morning.
Fun. So they go through the channel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to
So Amy's grandmother went to Saron Lutheran Church on Main Street in St. Joe.
Okay.
And they would always have a Sunday service that Sunday on the North Pier as the boats would leave.
Oh.
And it was pretty cool.
Very nice. Okay. So the regatta happens this coming weekend. The St. Joe River Yacht Club spokesperson Nick Culp provided us with some background. He says the regatta will bring together members of the community with sailors from Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and beyond. The day kicks off after the boats sail into town early Saturday with a breakfast buffet at 7 a.m. to 11 a.m.
I'm all about that.
Followed by a grilled lunch. You're all about this, too.
I'm all about that, too.
Yeah, noon to 3 p.m. And then the dinner menu features a choice of steak, chicken, or a vegetarian entree. Thank you very much. With salad and sides from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Festivities don't end there. They'll also transform the Yacht Club into the ultimate party destination with a live performance by Libido Funk Circus.
Is that part of your
That's
band?
some hip swaying music right there. 8:30 to midnight, known for their high energy shows and eclectic mix of dance hits spanning multiple decades. Libido Funk Circus. So you want to read that full article and see the full schedule. It's right there at moodyonthemarket.com. Again, your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We've got 90 seconds to go, Brad, before we hit the 8 o'clock news. What else you want to hit this morning?
I'm putting in my food for my food diary.
Oh, speaking of travel, we weren't talking about travel, but because we can, let's talk about travel.
Yeah, we weren't, but that's okay.
SeaTac International Airport. Did you see what they were having this weekend?
Where are they at?
Seattle-Tacoma International Airport.
Okay.
So
No,
it's
I did not
SeaTac.
see that.
So, I mean, essentially, if you're going to Asia or if you're going to Hawaii or if you're going any points west beyond the United States coast there, the continental coast, you may find yourself in SeaTac. Could be LA as well, but SeaTac has a lot of international flights that go to Asia. They were suffering a severe cyber attack over the weekend.
I did see that. A lot of planes got.
A lot of planes grounded. The airport posted on Twitter because they couldn't post on their website. I went to their website this morning, still down. So if you are a traveler and you want information, you got to go to the social media. They say they had a potential attack shortly after 9 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, and they've isolated their critical systems. They don't have a timeline for when they'd be restored, and we're still looking for an update today. But there were 165 flights delayed, 6 cancellations on Saturday, another set of that, something like that on Sunday. So we hope they get that resolved. Sorry, I got to cut you off there because we got ABC.
From ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Many questions in a manslaughter
Okay.
investigation.
Just seems like
That's
these
what's
issues are happening a lot more.
The cyber attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going after the infrastructure.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
they foreign agents?
A lot of them are suspected as foreign agents. I mean, the most recent cybersecurity hack into the Trump and the Kamala Harris campaigns, the Trump hack was successful. The Kamala Harris hack was not. That was, the FBI said, Iran.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, you think about it, and you think about Iran and the hijinks that they're pulling right in front of the elections back in the 80s with Jimmy Carter and the hostages and Ronald Reagan. You wonder, okay, are they following the old playbook where they're trying to disrupt something happening in the United States so that they can potentially sway an election? Who knows? So hopefully our cybersecurity folks are doubling down on, because they start hitting things like transportation and utilities and that kind of thing, and you got some trouble.
Something 20 years ago never would have thought of.
Never.
Now it's a daily occurrence, it seems
Yeah,
to me.
it really does.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Brett. We'll see you on Friday, okay? Have a
Yep.
good week.
You too.
All right. You on the live stream, video live stream, you have a good week as well, and we'll talk soon.